morning. It's what is it? Sunday the 26th, maybe, I think. Anyway, it's day 110, which kind of represents the exact halfway point time-wise that we have to finish this Appalachian Trail thing. Based on our start date and the mountain close date, we have 222 days. Today's 110, and we're not halfway, but we're making better progress. So I'm optimistic we'll be close to finishing on time. But anyway, we should cross 1,000 miles later today. That's a cool thing. But what I wanted to sort of talk to you guys about, well, that's stupid. Shouldn't say that. I'm not talking to you guys. Anyway, I'm sharing something. Randomness. So a couple days ago, we're in a supermarket getting resupplies. Kid behind us in line, getting into a conversation. Where you from is one of the basic things you should talk about initially. Anyway, turns out the kid's from Spencer, Massachusetts, which is where I'm from. And my hometown, he lived right around the block. Granted, he was half my age, but he grew up same neighborhood as I did. So I think that's pretty haphazard, you know. How many people hike the trail? How many from the same town? How many run into each other, especially a small town? So anyway, yesterday, we meet this girl. Karen's talking to her. Next thing you know, guess where she's from? Same hometown. You know, in fact, I knew some of her aunts and uncles from my generation, and just random. Like, what the heck are the chances of that stuff happening? But I don't know. Gives you a chance to think about it when you're out here walking around on what is actually the first mowed section of trail we've seen. It's actually, somebody mowed this recently. Kind of crazy, but later.
Okay, big day. Here we go. We are officially entering the roller coaster, which is a 14 hill, 14 mile, I don't know, ridiculous up and down climb. So we'll let you know how it goes.
I hope you didn't hear that.
Who came to join us?
It dropped down. You got into another level, right?
On our 1,000 miles. Our 1,000 miles. 1,000 miles we've walked. That is crazy.
So I unhooked them.
Snowy, that crazy?
That's crazy. Crazy.
Did you ever think, Ben?
I figured.
Really?
I figured.
Oh.
Nothing else got going.
Oh, look at that. Giving us some cred.
We quit the first couple weeks.
That is true. We wanted to. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Of course.
All right, another big day. We have crossed the West Virginia border. We are finally officially out of Virginia. It took us how many days, Mike? We came into Virginia
May 6th.
And today is June
27?
I think so.
I think.
Yeah.
So 27 and 25, 52 days.
52 days. A long time. We needed to get out of Virginia. We were due. And now off with to West Virginia. Woohoo!
But one thing I want to point out, look at the sign, right? Oh, here's the sign, Virginia/West Virginia, state line. Problem is, that's West Virginia, that's Virginia. It's literally ass backwards. You think you're walking from West Virginia into Virginia. I don't know. Attention to detail. But who cares? Who knows? I know. Anyway, F Virginia.
Like I said, we needed to leave Virginia. But big day yesterday. We crossed our 1,000-mile mark. As you saw, Ben and Kirsten came and walked our 1,000th mile. And what else, Michael, was it? A big day for us.
I don't know. We get into the roller coaster?
We got into the roller coaster. Big days. Anyways, hurry up. Time to go. Mike, what happened to your eye?
Oh, come on. Don't do that. No. Let's go. We don't have time to be digging around. I'm not doing that.
What happened to your eye?
Nothing. I was snoring.
Some guy in the bunk threw something at him.
Good morning. Heading into Harper's Ferry today. It'll be the halfway point. Informally anyway, the halfway point, notional halfway point. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to chat about. Last night we had a situation. We stayed in a bunk room, and there was an old guy in there, like 70 years old or whatever. And a couple of times during the night I woke up to this, like somebody stomping their foot. I couldn't quite figure out what it was. Come to find out, I was snoring, and the guy was getting pissed. So what happens? Eventually, he reaches a boiling point, and he throws a shoe at me. You can see my eye. Pretty good throw. Give the guy credit for that. Hits me in the eye, wakes me up. We almost come to blows. Karen's like, no, blah, blah, blah. So, fortunately, I was able to process it. And I'm like, you know, there's nothing positive gonna come out of beating the crap out of some old guy. You know what I mean? So, you know, if I beat him up, then I'm picking on an old guy. If he kicks my butt, my ass, then it's pretty embarrassing. So, you know, I thought better of it. Tried to go back to sleep. Chilled out. It was almost time to get up anyway. So it worked out fine. But then on our way out, he was still sleeping. So what do? Let the screen door slam. Payback's a bitch.
Here's my Karen's rant for the day. So we finally make it to Harper's Ferry. We cross the river. Michael sets up this photo, like with me going, a nice shot of the bridge arcing around. Some douchebag couple literally walks right in front of Michael. Doesn't even think twice, right in the middle of the picture. No problem, whatever, people, that happens. Cross the Shenandoah River to what looks to be a substantial parking lot. I would have thought the visitor center was there, but it's not. You got to take this crappily maintained trail up the hill, no white blazes. We guess we're going in the right direction. And then, because we're trying to get to the Harper's Ferry, whatever, that we can get our new tag and our picture. Big deal to every thru hiker. So all of a sudden, there's a sign that has a 0.2 trail that goes straight up, probably 100 steps to the which we think is going to be the place that we're trying to get to, the visitor center. We get to the top of the hill, and we're in the back alley of some building of some campus that we don't know. No sign. We have to hunt down blue blazes. We still don't know where we're going. Now we followed the blue blazes through the campus. There's Michael trying to figure out where we're at. We still can't find it. This is supposed to be the most monumental. It's a halfway point. It's a milestone, like I said, on the AT. Oh, good, another hiker. Maybe we can follow him to nowhere. Oh, it's the front. All right, I guess we finally found it. Anyways, Harper's Ferry Visitor Center. Do some extra signage, a little bit more maintenance on those trails because it's kind of sketchy coming up. And I don't know, like maybe just a little bit more. We appreciate it though. Anyway, my rant for the day.
Hey, good morning. It's June 30th. We are in Maryland. Glad to be done in Virginia. West Virginia was a day. We should be in Pennsylvania tomorrow, so things are going pretty quick. Thought for the day, though, this thing behind me is actually the original Washington Monument. It was built in, I think, 1820. He was born close by here, might have been this county. So anyway, the volunteers built that thing back in 1820. First original Washington Monument. Kind of interesting. But anyway, Maryland, this part of Maryland is full of historical stuff. I mean, Harper's Ferry's got all kinds of stuff. Battle of South Mountain. We keep coming across these kiosks, these obscure kiosks out in middle of woods, middle of a field, commemorating things, and some are maintained well, some are not. Just there's hardly ever anybody around them. Just gets me wondering, where we're headed as a country. But not to get political, but I will share something that I heard. I'll paraphrase something I heard a long time ago. Actually, not that long ago. But anyway, it's kind of, I don't know if it's a philosophy or an observation or whatever, but it basically goes, it's cyclic, and it starts out by saying strong men create good times create complacent men create confusing times create weak men create bad times, and bad times leads back to the creation of good men, and the whole cycle starts over again. So I look at that, I look at some of the generations historically, and I wonder if maybe there's an element of truth to that. But anyway, thought for the day at the original Washington Monument, which has a fantastic view of what would it be, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, battlefield at Appomattox, things like that. So anyway, we got to get going. Good morning. It's day 117. We're in Pennsylvania. We expect to hit the halfway point, the legitimate halfway point, later today. It's about 10 miles from where we are now. Kind of a milestone, but still indication of it's a long ways still to go. But anyway, what I wanted to share today was we see a number of snakes on a trail. We saw a rattlesnake yesterday. The guy that we just talked to literally stepped over a copperhead this morning. I mean, they lay on the trail because the sun gets through the canopy and it's mostly rocks. They can kind of get heated up and do their thing. But anyway, it got me thinking. I mean, every time Karen goes off trail to do her business, and off trail is pretty bushy usually. It's like, hey, be careful, I mean, expose yourself, squat down, don't get bit in the ass. But I got to thinking, like, if the trailhead's back there 1.5 miles to the parking lot, or 3.5 going forward to the next parking lot, and she gets bit, like, what do I do? Do I backtrack 1.5 miles and lose that time? Or do I make her go 3.5 so that we're making positive miles on the way to the doctor's? So I hate to say I concluded I'd make her walk forward. Probably not good. I always think that I tell her I should apologize, because you really got to go to the closest place and forget about the mileage, but I don't want to backtrack. But anyway,